Yo, what's going on? It's Sir Michael Rocks,
It's Chuck English.
and you live on the Pursuit of Dopeness.
Everybody said cool kids. Say cool kids. Say cool kids. Say cool kids.
We are here at South by Southwest with the legendary, the icons, Cool Kids. All right, man. Thanks for joining us. So, you guys did a little bit of a comeback recently. How was your reunion show at Talia Hall in December, being your first show in Chicago for a while?
Man, that show was crazy. That show was packed, ceiling to floor, wall to wall, man. The energy was just unreal in the building because it's like coming from Chicago and being the place where we really got our thing started. It's just always crazy to come back and feel that love, man, because you can't get that anywhere else, man. So it was like, it's one of those moments where you just got to soak it in, honestly.
He said that. Answer the next one.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you guys are from the same hometown as us. What are some of the favorite venues in Chicago that you guys like to play at?
Well, a lot has changed. You know what I mean? Like the Double Door's not even there anymore. A lot of places have turned into like, vintage landmarks and not like the spots you actually go to see shows at. You know what I mean? Like when I was coming up, I seen Immortal Technique at Abbey Pub in like 03 or 04, shit like that. So I've been around to see a lot of great shows in Chicago, but there's a lot of brand new venues that I feel like will have long-lasting power, and especially since the Chicago music scene is so much more spiced than it was before. But Talia Hall was fucking flawless. You know what I mean? Reggie's, of course. Bottom Lounge. Shit. I don't know what's my favorite, but I would, if I'm gonna just say something's my favorite because of loyalty, it'd be Reggie's. I've done a lot there. Like a lot of my life has happened, and Reggie's, like a lot of people's in Chicago, they get their first show start. When they get your first real fan base, you do it in Chicago. Like I was on Chan's first show at Reggie's. I've seen a lot of first shows at Reggie's. So Reggie's is like probably to us the most legendary spot.
You guys are, back in the studio. You guys working together. Been seeing a couple things on Snapchat. You guys have been a while, apart for a while, but now that you guys are back together, what is it like, kind of like getting back together and working in the studio together, and apart from all the solo stuff, like how is it now going back to doing this duo?
I would say while we were doing solo stuff, we picked up a bunch of individual skills and individual, talents that we didn't have before, and we're able to like work on those. And then coming back now in this present time and working together is just crazy because now we're able to use a arsenal of weapons that, we didn't always have before, whether it's from production to raps and just way we structure songs now. And it's just like it's a lot more fun, honestly. Like for a while, like towards the period where we started to do solo stuff for the first time, it was a lot of like legal bullshit going on and a lot of stuff going on that made it not fun and made it not really possible, honestly, for us to keep creating at that point in time. So now that we're free and able to do, our best work, we can come together and just kind of use our best tactics now, use our best skill sets, and really make some stuff that's better than anything we've made before. And that's pretty much how it's been sounding since we've been in the studio making this new stuff for the new project.
I was gonna say what he said, but a little bit more to put on that is there's just times that you can't really control and draw your plan out. You can have you can have your vision, you can have your not vision, you can have your focus on what the grand goal is. And I think that when we decided to do stuff on our own, we didn't even have a way to create a goal for ourselves, because everything was just, every time we do something would get taken off the table, or we would be told that we couldn't do it. And I think that builds up. Anytime you tell a human that they can't do something, that makes them want to do it more. You know what I'm saying? So I think with a lot of musicians and a lot of groups and a lot of bands, you lose the fire to want to do more, because either you're allowed to do it or you're over it. And I think that, you know, by the grace of God, he gave us a period in time where we can hold on to that frustration. Like, I ain't gonna let nobody try to tell me what I can't make, you know, together anymore. So now, you know, when we make something, we have that fire burning towards it. You know what I'm saying? So, like he said, I think we just gathered up enough that we needed on our own, and we have our own individuality through the song. So before, I would just sound like a mesh of just two people on one song. Now you hear us both and what we do together in every song we're doing now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think that's always been one of those qualities that you guys have. And
but like, well, that was something I feel like the fans and listeners could pick up on, but we didn't pick up on it. Now we can hear, like, oh yeah, now. You know what I'm saying? Now this shit is a code. Like, you know, when you got your regular clothes, but you'll never feel as fresh as you would if you was in all your fresh shit. Mm-hmm. And that's how we feel now. Like, it ain't just regular clothes. Like, we just creating the best pieces to rap through. So
you guys were actually one of those first people to effectively use the internet to market yourselves. You guys were on MySpace, you know, back in the day. That's how a lot of us were you know, learning about you guys since the beginning. How have you guys dealt with having to adjust to all these new marketing, advertising channels to get your music out there?
I haven't. That's a good question, because the way I think about it is, when you come into something and, like, maybe you're the first ones that do it, you don't necessarily get the credit for revolutionizing it that way. Mm-hmm. So now that it's the only way, you kind of got to let things fall back in your lap. And like, you know, back then it was like we needed to have a whole bunch of megaphones to make sure people knew that we had this. MySpace was a really good megaphone, because it was also, you were creating your individuality through your page. Like, when you go to somebody's page, you could tell everything about them. That was before the let me create a fake profile or let me create a fake persona for myself. Everybody was comfortable in their shit. It wasn't based on pictures. It wasn't based on likes. It wasn't based on that. People wanted to be your friend. It was called friends. Like, it wasn't saying followers. And then you got followers now. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just numbers. Now it's not even about, like, you can't go to someone's Instagram page and know what they listen to. You could see them snap and listening to everything everybody else is listening to, but it kind of like went from something really pure to something really forced and driven into, you know, a shape. So now, if you don't have an online presence, it's like people look at you like, well, what did you do? You must have didn't do it because you didn't snap it, or you must have didn't do it because you didn't take a picture of it. And me, just like how I felt in the MySpace days where I was like, okay, it's time to do this. Now I feel like it's time not to do this and give people a chance to figure out what they like about you on their own. So I'm into letting my music speak for myself. I'm not gonna snap my food. I really don't give a fuck about my phone, besides like not losing it and dropping it in the water so I can catch a ride. That's it. Like, people ask me all the time, like, hey man, you gonna get on Instagram Live? Fuck no. For what? You know what I'm saying? So I could just watch a whole stream of hearts and people writing comments and shit that make me look at you like, bro, if you say this shit to me again, because anytime you get on Instagram Live, somebody's going to type something asshole-ish to you. So they're gonna say, no man, fuck you. I've seen that actually happen on your Instagram Live. You had said something and somebody had just started talking shit. It's trolls. Like, man, you skinny as hell. That's what I seen on your shit. I'm like, bro, who the fuck is this kid just talking out of nowhere? You skinny as hell. You didn't used to do that on people's MySpace comment page, because that's all it is. It's actually purposeless unless you're airing something. Like, if you could have an episode or a video come through Instagram Live, or you're doing something that, like, when Chance gave away the $1 million to the school, that shit was tight. because he didn't need no newscast. It's like we have all of this access to all this technology and all these avenues of communication, but people don't know how to use it yet. So I feel like my time is waiting for people to figure out it. What are you gonna do? What are y'all gonna do? Like, what are we using Instagram Live for? We don't know yet? Okay, I'm not on it.
They know. It's this.
Girls just sit there on it and just do like this, and then sit in the car with a song playing, and then just like
Yep.
looking around and just looking back.
And they just, yeah.
And then like maybe and then you know maybe they'll like answer one of the questions or somebody.
One of the questions.
And be like, ha ha ha. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't.
Yep, that's exactly how it goes. And then
Some silence, couple hearts.
Yeah, a couple hearts and then do some other shit like
yeah, so it's like
wow.
I would say this internet age is not an internet age. Internet is actually life now, so we can't even, there is no magazines. There is no 3-month lead press time on making sure you get in the magazine. Like, you don't actually need no lead time. You can just drop that bitch tomorrow. So
Pull
I
a
think
Beyonce.
huh?
Pull a Beyonce.
Pull a whoever. Information travels so fast right now that you can put out a record, and if everybody listened to it in the beginning of the day, it's already like old already. Like, I think about this. I've never had an album I played out before that Childish album came out. Like, I listened to that bitch so many times that by February, I'm like, damn, when did this album come out? I thought that shit came out last summer. That shit only came out in December. But because you see so many people listen to it, or everybody's got Redbone on their page, or all of this shit is happening at once, it's actually speeding up time a little bit. So from December seemed like that shit was almost last year right now. Like that Thalia Hall that Thalia Hall Thalia Hall.
That's after the venue closes.
Yeah,
the
we're gonna
Thalia Hall.
Thalia Hall. Like when we did that show, to me in my head it seems like almost a year ago. Just in how many things have happened since then. You know what I'm saying? Like the election, it just happened. People were still being like, fuck is going on here?
This shit real.
Yeah, think about when the inauguration happened. That shit seemed like a long time ago. So
Yeah,
I think
been president for a year now.
yeah, he been tearing shit up.
Like you've been president for at least 2 years now.
Yeah, so it's like I think in this day and age, it's me more or less understanding where I'm at. I know that this shit is the Wild Wild West, and everybody has a camera, and everybody has a smartphone or a supercomputer in their hand at all times. You know what I'm saying? So,
And I guess that kind of helps out with your approach of saying you're giving the power back to the music itself.
Right.
And it's not about like, oh, I got this cool ass ad, I got this, this gimmick to release this.
Yeah.
It's like, no, listen to the album, listen to a project.
people are making
If you
their own
vibe it with-
decisions. It's the same reason why like that Get Out movie is grossing so much. It's not because a hype. It's actually a fire ass movie that's kind of creepy and kind of like, what the fuck, bro? And it has nothing there. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot. It's not a 2. It's not another fucking Spider-Man. It's not another Superman. Like, that's what I see the culture
Not the
is.
10th origin story.
Yeah, I was seeing that was the culture. Our culture was turning into that, where we just proved that new ideas and new concepts are probably going to be the future. Like a Childish album or the Get Out, or how Stranger Things, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Things that are new ideas, even morphed ideas, instead of, oh yeah, we're gonna make another Matrix. I don't give a fuck about another Matrix. You can't even write another Matrix. After 1, it's like, the shit is over with.
Yeah.
They actually made a 2 and a 3. And it's like, bro, you could have stopped at 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, Terminator, they made another Terminator in 2012 that was just fire and metal. You know what I mean? How many Transformer movies have we had? How many fucking Spider-Mans?
They don't even have Shia LaBeouf
They
anymore.
actually got 6 different Spider-Mans. They got Amazing Spider-Man. They got Spider-Man. Like they
Life of
Spider-Man.
They got Legendary
Spider-Man. Like what the fuck? They got Batman, every single thing where they're like, yeah, man, we made a lot of money on that. Let's just not think. Let's just do that shit again. Let's do that again.
Those old people who do that shit can just retire.
Yeah, old people, just get the fuck out of here now. Just go, bro. You rich as shit. Just let us fucking take over, bro. Like, you out here fucking up.
So to that point, what are some of like the new producers that you guys are looking to work with and get into the studio to help propel, this new sound that you guys are coming up with?
It's 4 niggas in here. There's 4 or 5 people in here. I really don't even need to talk to nobody else. Not to disrespect, but I battle myself with my sounds all the time, and I think that's why I built the name I have for myself. Like, I don't have a sound. You just can tell I made it, and that was my goal. Like, I don't use the same sound twice. I don't use the same drums twice. I don't even have anything that would make you associate it with mine. I don't have no beat tag. I don't got shit, and I still can create a lane for myself. So I'm always battling. Not battling, I want to say it's like a war, but I'm always having fights in my head about sounds. Like, even me and him had a come to Christ moment. We're like, hey man, we need this sound. Like, we covered this sound already. I'm off that. Let's get one more. And I had to sit and kick my other ass, the smooth jazz motherfucker in my head. I had to kick his ass. The funk dude in my head, I had to kick his ass. The dude that likes to make experimental shit in rhythm, I had to kick his ass and be like, ah, damn, what would Swiss Beats do? And then I had to fuck that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have all of these different levels of where I'm at in my sound. That's why we've been able to create all these different records with just one person. It ain't just one person in here, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody is living with one voice in their head. You got about 6 of them. You just got to figure out who you're listening to.
Oh, that's dope. You guys kind of ushered in this new, like, generation, really. You know, and influenced a lot of the scene that's blowing up right now. Are there any artists in particular that you guys are proud of having influenced them?
No, I'm saying I couldn't be more prouder of Chance as someone that had told us that, like, we did what we did for him, and you know what I mean, like what Bake Sale meant to him and all of that shit. But more importantly, like the person he is, you know what I'm saying, and to have influence on a new generation of kids that actually not even just not taking no, but like being like, nah, fuck this. I'm about to do this shit all my way. You know what I'm saying? For him to put out records and not sell it, like, that's how we started. We was getting hated on, like, oh man, they don't even got an album out yet, but everybody knows our songs. You know what I'm saying? From down to him changing the rules of the Grammy, down to him like, oh yeah, y'all ain't gonna put no money up for these kids. I'm gonna put some money up for these kids. You know what I'm saying? Now you can't say shit to that man, and y'all let that happen. Now it's got to just be quiet. For anything that Chance don't want to do, you chopped. If you don't like it, you chopped. You know what I'm saying? So from that to Mac Miller, shit, like even like the whole Odd Future situation. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids are like kids that will run up on us, and I'll remember them. Like, I got a story like when I was like maybe 23 or something. I'm in LA on New Year's Day, and like Casey Veggie's like 14 or 15, and I'm out eating with this girl, and he walks up to me like, and he tells me everything he gonna do. And then 2 South bys, he walks up on me, and after I'm already knowing who he is and shit, hey, like, hey, remember that kid that walked up onto you in that restaurant? I was like, dog, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? You know how many times that's happened to me? Where it's like, hey man, you remember me from what? And they headline the show I'm at.
That's dope.
So to be anybody that gives any inspiration to somebody that even does shit cooler than me, that's the point. Like, I got my own lane. Like, I'm getting grown now. I like watching basketball and going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like too much more that I could do besides like what I'm doing. I like what I'm doing. Do I want it to rise? Do I want us to, you know what I'm saying, headline the big festivals for a summer? Yeah, but after that, there's not too much more that we can do in music that is going to like propel our legacy. Like, we cemented it. So now it's like giving kids a reason to like, oh man, they did it. They did it like that. Because now, before it was like you couldn't even not dress like a rapper. You had to wear a white tee and have a bullshit ass middle of the mall chain. Motherfuckers still be on that. They still be on that whack ass jewelry shit. I ain't, you know what I mean? Like, we had a couple gold chains before, a couple of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had 2 herringbones before anybody ever thought of doing that shit. Like, even when I say this shit, hot take. Like, Kanye know goddamn well he wasn't wearing Jordans when he seen us, bro.
Yeah.
I seen him. That nigga had some expensive ass Louis Vuittons on. He like, damn, y'all got the Jordans on. I'd never forget that shit. Because we used to rap, get our money, and go get gear. Like, it's the only way we gonna survive. If we ain't out fresh, we gonna lose. So we would try to get shit early, hit the store like, man, I know you got them back there early. Pay the whole $175 back when Jordans wasn't even $175 yet. Them bitches was $145. I paid an extra $30 ticket just to get them early. And it wasn't no sneaker plugs, wasn't no motherfuckers putting up on you overcharging for shit. You had to get it the old school way. Couldn't nobody wasn't dropping shoes off at your house. All the rappers having their shoes just sent to them and shit. Like, we ain't had that. We had to go to the store with everybody else.